Hello everybody, this is Nicole with HelpMamaRemote.com, and today I'll be sharing with you our 2016 gardening goals. We are in the spring season and we have started, prepping our garden to begin the gardening season. However, our weather here is really crazy in the Chicago area. It's like raining, snowing, hailing. We get this in like within a 15-minute span, all these different elements, and cold, then it's warm, then it's cold. So we have started prepping our garden on the days that it's been warm so we can be ready when the weather finally does permit. Every year, my husband and I set at least one gardening goal. We don't go with like 3, 4, 5. I believe you could do one goal a year for gardening, and it'll just help you focus on a certain thing that you want to perfect in your gardening skills. So like we've had gardening goals to harvest seeds so that we won't have to purchase seeds or any plants for the gardening season. We've had it where we've learned how to companion garden, which plants go good with other plants so that they will benefit one another. And whenever we add on a new goal, we always bring the goal from that previous year that we learned to the new gardening season. So we're, like I said, continuing to perfect our gardening skill. So this year's gardening goal will be preserving. I did start a little bit of this last year and even maybe the year before with dehydrating, dehydrating our herbs and things like that. Really beneficial to have fresh herbs from your garden or herbs that that I had dehydrated and I was using throughout the winter because I dehydrated them, put them in jars, and when I would cook, I would use herbs we have from the garden. However, this year I want to get a little bit more advanced with like preserving, probably canning, something that we tried maybe 6 years ago and I didn't do really well, so we're gonna try that again. So that will be my focus, and I could really get this canning thing down. Now I'm gonna share with you some of the resources that we have for our gardening goal, preserving. First, I have a book, because when the first year we tried, like I said, about 5 or 6 years ago, we purchased a pressure cooker. That's one thing we have, and it's really huge pressure cooker. So we purchased that. We purchased canning items that we've used, we had used then. But we did, like I said, purchase the pressure cooker, and with that we have picked up this book. And it's the Blue Book Guide to Preserving. It has recipes in here and some directions and, different tips and stuff for preserving. So this is one of the things we have. Like I said, the other thing we have is a really large pressure cooker, as well as we do have already a dehydrator. And this year we are looking into getting another dehydrator. The dehydrator we have, we've had a few years. We purchased at the thrift store. It works perfectly fine. We just want another one so that we could be doing, like have 2 going at one time to give us a little bit, more, maybe cut down a little bit on the time of dehydrating. I have seen one online that's really nice. I've seen people on YouTube, they have it as well. So hopefully, I don't know if I don't renege and get a little cheap. Otherwise, we will find another one at the thrift store, because that's where we purchased the one we had. Maybe spent about $5 for it or whatever, but it works well. Another thing I wanted to share with you, those of you that love to go to Dollar Tree. Now, Dollar Tree will have some nice books. Every now and then you can really find some really nice books from Dollar Tree. And over the past maybe year or so, I found a couple really nice books to use as resources for gardening or the backyard, anything dealing with gardening or the backyard. Now, another thing I do before I share with you the books is I do purchase magazines, not often. So maybe once a year, because magazines are so expensive now. They're like $9.99. So every year I would at least purchase one really nice magazine. There's another one that I do purchase. Now I will purchase like a couple of those a year because they get more into like the homestead living life kind of thing, and I really enjoy reading those and getting more information. So I will purchase like a couple of those. But the nice ones about container gardening or backyard gardening or plants and things like that, I will purchase like one a year. I do keep my magazines. I keep them and I store them in magazine magazine holders and a gardening section. So I have one strictly for gardening, and whenever the gardening seasons come, I go through my books and I could, get different information, tips and stuff like that maybe I save, I fold the page, or just something that I may have not seen the year before. So I do keep all my magazines. I don't have a whole lot of them, but I do keep them because they are very expensive and they are good resources. These are the books that I've picked up. Now, this one I found this morning, and when I saw it, I was like, oh! So I picked it up, and that is Container Gardening. And maybe more so with these books is I'm a picture kind of girl. I love seeing pictures and getting ideas and using them for inspiration. So that is one of the reasons that, I like getting the books, because look how thick it is. And it's Container Gardening, and the books are by Sunset, and it's Outdoor Design and Build Guide. Fresh ideas for outdoor living. And then it has in here step-by-step projects. Let me see if I could show her some pictures in here, but really nice pictures. They have on, I think like perennials, annuals, and fruits and vegetables. So this is what I found today. And $1, you can't beat this. Keep this in my little library of gardening resources. Now, I found this one last year, and this is Backyard for Kids. And it is so cool. They have just the neatest little ideas for kids, especially if you have a big backyard. Let's try to get my little lights out the way. But they have some really nice, really cute little ideas in here. Tree houses and things like that. So I found this one last year. I want to say, yeah, maybe it have been summertime. Now, this one I found maybe a couple months ago. And this is the Edible Garden Cookbook. Now, again, I'm not a recipe kind of girl. I don't follow recipes. I love being creative. But I do like to look in them to get ideas. Like I say, I'm a picture kind of girl. But they have really, really nice, recipes on things you have from your garden in here. So those are 3 books. So don't sleep on your Dollar Tree, look in their book section for gardening items. I would take you outside, but like I say, it's raining or it may be snowing by now. But what we did do, my husband cleaned up all the beds. We cleaned up all the beds, and he put some manure compost, some 10-10-10, and another item in 3 of the beds so far. And he put the hoops back on 3 of the beds, and he's covered them with the plastic because, like I say, the weather is so, off and on. And when we do start planting, it will be, protected from the elements. And we did that maybe 2 or 3 years ago in the gardening season. What we did was that was the first year, I believe, we put the hoops up, and he covered them with plastic. And that year, it seemed like our garden really, really flourished because we got a chance to get a head start when the weather was still real iffy in April. We were able to plant in April and have everything covered up. So we had a really nice gardening season that year. So that's what we did so far. Now our greenhouse, I'm going to put a link to a video below. Our greenhouse, we purchased from Harbor Freight. Now, since we live in Chicago, it is very windy here, and it has been we have been getting winds out of this world. So we have been getting blowouts from some of our panels from the greenhouse. So one of the things, he was going to seal them, but since the little bit of the wear and tear on the panels, he didn't want to seal them, and then if we have to replace a panel, it would be hard to get it out. So I had came up with the idea. This is it says hardware cloth, and it's like, if you can see, it has like small holes. I use this. We got my daughter a hamster for Christmas, which died within a few days, and I use this to make the hamster's habitat. So that's how I knew, about this. I had some still left over, so we used some of that, and I went to Menards and picked up 2 more rolls. So what I did was, what we're doing is taking this and we're rolling it out on the side of the greenhouse panels, because like I say, the panels blow out. They have little clamps that go in, but they keep blowing out. So the metal frame, I was using this on some areas. My crocodile here punches through pretty much everything. So on the places that I could punch holes in along the frame of the greenhouse, I will punch a hole in it, and I would take some wire, like jewelry wire, and I lay this on the greenhouse, and I'll take the wire through the hole of this and through the hole of the greenhouse and tie it, and then I roll it across the greenhouse. I'll share that with you. Maybe next week I'll do a video sharing with you all the progress that we've made. So so that was what I did. We started, and my husband drilled holes like in the top of the frame so that, like I said, we could tie it so it won't, you know, this will stay nice and flush. And other areas where my crocodile could not reach because it was thicker, and this doesn't go like as deep. So he drilled holes in it and took the wire and put it through. So it's coming along really well, and I think this is like the best for us because the wind is so high. This can always be replaced. I don't see why it would have to be replaced anytime soon. But I think this is like the key to keeping those panels in, and also it's see-through. It doesn't look tacky when we look at the greenhouse. You know, it's not like anything is on a greenhouse that's colored or, you know, just tacky. You can't, when you look at the greenhouse, you can't see it. So I do like that, as well as it has a lot of holes in it, so it, you know, it's like still breathable. So yeah, so that's what we came up with on that, because we were, what other option were we thinking? I don't know, because one day I just had to go out. Like I said, the panels were blowing out. The wind was so high. I had to go outside with tape and just literally go around the greenhouse continually, taping it up. I mean, it was so bad. And panels, like I say, flying. And, you know, you have to go out and get them or they'll end up in your neighbor's yard. So I think this is going to be like the best. I'm going to put it on the roof. And we're going to do it like the way the roof is. It may have like this much more that's missed, but if we put it straight through the middle, it'll keep all the panels in. So I'll share that with you all. Like I say, when the weather is better, it is raining or snowing. I don't know what it's doing right now, but it's a very wet day. So that's what we've done so far. And we're just really excited about the gardening season. Oh, and another thing is I'm trying to prep our greenhouse so that we could have a little bit longer time to garden, you know, plant in the greenhouse in the season when it's you know, like cooler outside. Extend our growth season as long as possible. So I just want to share that with you all. I like to thank you all for tuning in. If you are gardening, have you made any gardening goals? Do you make any gardening goals? Especially if you're a newbie gardener, make a goal so you can stay focused and, you know, perfect one of those areas for gardening. Gardening is so beneficial, and I just can't wait to not have to purchase the vegetables that I have to purchase at the grocery store this season. All right, this is Nicole with HelpMamaRemote.com. Bye-bye.